Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to have a good time out here?
To begin Goa, now the time is here. To begin Goa, let's bring the Goa new. Back to the play, 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 to begin Goa, now the time is here. To begin Goa, let's bring the Goa new. Come from all over, come from Poland, come from any land. Come from Madras, come from Delhi, come from any land. If you're looking out for the present holiday, come to Goa, Spain, and Goa, Goa, until you rain, swing, Goa, 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 until you rain, Goa, 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 until you rain. Oh, it is nice, dance up for one price. Come to Goa, Spain, Goa, Goa, until you rain. Rise from the rhythms of a bell and rock and bell. Dance to the beats of the thing, you go like a develop. Once upon a stay, won't like to go away. Come to Goa, Spain, Goa, Goa, until you rain. Goa, 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 until you rain. Goa, 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 until you rain. Oh, it is nice, dance up for one price. Come to Goa, Spain, Goa, Goa, until you rain. Goa, 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 until you rain. Goa, 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 until you rain. Oh, it is nice, dance up for one price. Come to Goa, Spain, Goa, Goa, until you rain.
A lot of people looked at him as a person who cycles around with children on his cycle. He would be visiting, being fixed as the Santa Claus for many programs, and lots of people sort of knew him as the fatherly figure who's like caring for the poor, etc.
My dear son, how have you been? I'm sending you 10,000 rupees, 4,000 for the bike, 3,000 for Christmas, and 3,000 for next year. I wish you, your family, and your loved ones a very happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year. I'm adding 200 rupees to your money. Please give it to Bosco. It's for Christmas from me. I will always love you as my son, your dad.
Over the last 8 or 9 years, tourists that used to come in were mostly people from Europe, not much of the Indian clientele. They belong to the middle income bracket also. So they were looking for economical accommodations. But over the years this has been changing, and there have been the rich European tourists who are coming in, and some of them we found were looking for different type of pleasures. Besides the one who wanted to soak in the sun and the sand and the beauty of nature, these tourists were mostly male tourists from the West, and they were in the age group of 55 and above. Wealthy, but the youngsters that were involved, the young boys that they used to bring along, some of them, I've mostly seen young boys, not young girls. The little boys in the age group of 10 to 15.
Now, not all tourists had this in mind, but there was a certain category of tourists, mainly older men, often single. And slowly what began to develop was that a certain category called pedophiles. They are attracted to children of a certain age and get sexually aroused just chasing these children, not just getting them and abusing them, but also the very idea of chasing them and luring them is enticing and exciting for them. Small, easy to lure, easy to abuse, who are unconscious and unaware of what is actually happening to them.
GK हो गांव जो आसा की तो बीच हांगा लागीं आसा पळोवंक गेल्यार आनी हो एक ट्युरिस्ट स्पॉट जावन आसा तर म्हाका दिसलें की ना बेश्टी खेळपाक वता अशें मजा करपाक अशें वता आनी जेन्ना म्हाका अशें थोडे थोडे दीस जाले थोडीं जाणां 2 दीस 3 दीस अशीं बंद जावपाक लागले स्टुडंट्स आनी जेन्ना हांव स्वता थंय जेन्ना बिचार गेलें तेन्ना म्हाका अशें खूब अशें एक्सपिरियन्स खूब आदळून आयलें की भुरग्यां अशें ट्युरिस्टा बरोबर भोंवता पूण हांव अशें पळयलें की भुरग्यांक थंय वता तांचे बरोबर अशें हात धरून म्हणजे गजाली मारीत आनी सारकी मजा करून अशी वता तर जेन्ना ती सांगताली की आमकां तांकां ती फॉरेनर्स म्हणटा जेन्ना आमकां मसाज करपाक जाय हांव तेन्ना ती मसाज करपाक वतालीं सगळीं न्ही आनी थोडीं जाणां आतां मसाज करता थोडीं जाणां इवन ते जे खंय रावता ते फॉरेनर्स खंय रावता खंयच्या हांगा खूब हें आसा रावपी सोय आसा खंय रावताले थंय तांकां ते आपयताले फॉरेनर्स आपयता आनी भुरग्यांक कांय खबर ना की तांकां दिसता कितें आमकां कितें मेळटा कितें वस्तू मेळटा कितें पयशे मेळटा कितें खावपाक मेळटा सो ती ना अशें म्हणूंक शकना आनी तांकां ते लोक आले की मातशें व्हडलें दिसता
I've been seeing children as young as 7 and 8 associating with Europeans who are sexually active on the beach, right? Touching, even kissing and caressing. And one would assume that that becomes more active when they have them in their bedrooms. And hotels and guest houses here allow it.
At present, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that tourists are behaving themselves very well.
When the child was a child, it walked with its arms swinging. It didn't know it was a child. Everything was full of life, and all life was one. When the child was a child, it had no opinions about anything, and didn't make a face when photographed. When the child was a child, it was the time of these questions. Isn't life under the sun just a dream? Isn't what I see, hear, and smell only the illusion of a world before the world? Does evil actually exist? And are there people who are really evil?
We have to keep in mind much of the information is available in English, whereas at the ground level, in our villages on the coast, people speak Konkani, they understand Konkani, and it's very difficult to explain to people in Konkani what sex with children is all about. Just to give you an example of how local people have tried to understand and categorize what this activity is about, is the best said like amongst the shack owners, that if they want to identify who a pedophile is, they just call him a bonkist. Is somebody who has abnormal sex, or basically somebody who's having sex with another man. This is the kind of definition one would be able to find in a coastal village.
In Goa particularly, tourism developed as house-to-house tourism. Usually the tourist was taken into the house. Hospitality was value. When tourism came along, it commercialized hospitality. And so they are accepted within the family and trusted within the family. And that's how usually it's very easy for them to get into the family and abuse a child without this being generally known.
They are children of mostly the Lamanis. I have not seen any of our folks going about like that. But then when our children come of age and then they read in the paper such things are happening, so they are also aware of it.
It's definitely a fact that Goan children get enticed by the things that are offered by the tourists, the foreign tourists. And we see it happening in our schools. Wherever we have got these schools going on, say for example the school that goes on in Kandoli, the open school for the children over there. Now there it is very clear that the children, besides the migrant children, there are also local children who come there, and they say, yes, I have received this present, I have received this money, and they, yes, I go for a walk with a foreign tourist, I go to his hotel. They don't really come out with the whole details because a certain amount of rapport has to be built up.
When I started my trek, I mean, there were hundreds of people who used to come on the beach to sell these things, and they used to come with their kids, and it was a mean of livelihood for them. I mean, naturally, if someone gives you 10 rupees or 20 rupees for one peanut packet which you sell just for 1 rupee, I mean, of course you get tempted to make more money immediately, and that's how lots of people started flocking on the beach. And these were the ones who were, I mean, taken advantage of, and I mean, what can child know about what this man wants from him,
They always come as do-gooders with the purpose to access children. They have to access children. The second is that gullibility of the children. But I think what they rely on more than anything else is people's apathy, disinterest. And this is what they are actually exploiting. The other thing which they use is the technique of, which is to fill in the vacuum in the life of the child, the emotional vacuum in the life of the child. Because child is looking for affection, is looking for warmth, and this is what he or she gets from this person. So they are targeting children who are, and they always have perfected the knack of playing with the psychology of the child.
My dear son, I hope you and your family have had a wonderful Christmas. I wish you for the new year. Son, I pray that it will be a good year for us. I hope you have been receiving the money I have been sending. I asked you to be my son because I wanted you to be my son. If you just want to be a friend, so be it. Tell me, so that I can start writing friendly letters only. I don't just want you as some boy in India that I care for. I want you as my son, a son I can trust. The last time I was in India, I had a feeling that you were a little embarrassed by our relationship and told different stories to different people. It will be difficult for me to come to Goa this year. I miss you a lot, and for the moment, it's best that we build for the future. Love you always, your dad.
Certain kids, they saw in me a paradise because look here, that fellow has money and he gives something, and they talked at home about staying with me. Now some of them got green light from the parents because they said, oh,